What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing tonight? I got a really special guest, the gypsy of Play to Win Season 2, Kelly Raia Light. So glad you can make it on with me tonight. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. So you were on True Day One, so I didn't really get a lot of time to get to meet you because by the time you and I were introduced, it was all in competition mode, which I was really inspiring me to watch you because you were absolutely every bit as much of a competitor as I am.
Thank
And
you.
it was cool. So why don't you introduce yourself to the people that are on my platform so they can kind of just hear a little bit about your backstory, your Bulgarian boyfriend, no dogs and cats, whatever you want to share with them, just so they can kind of get to know you.
Sure. Thanks so much. So I'm Kelly Raia Light. I live in Orlando, Florida. I'm not married. I do have a long-term Bulgarian boyfriend, which it's funny that you describe me as a gypsy because a lot of gypsies in Bulgaria. But yeah, so I am a traveler at heart. I love adventure. And I've been a massage therapist for the past 10 years. And massage is amazing. It's helped me to serve people on a very deep level. And it was through my own healing journey, both physically and spiritually, emotionally, that brought me into massage. But it was never kind of serving me financially in the way I wanted it to. So yeah, I'm not alone there. Surprise, surprise.
No, you're not alone there.
Yeah, starving artist syndrome. We also have a thing called starving healer syndrome. It's real. And I had heard of network marketing. I had encountered network marketing in the past, and I was not into it because I thought I had to be spammy or salesy or pushy. And things shifted, and I was looking to niche down my massage practice, and an opportunity came my way. And literally my first question was like, is it network marketing? And she was open and she said, yeah, it is. And, if you'd still like to hear the info, I'd love to share.
Right.
And I was like, oh, awesome. Honesty. Yeah, please share. And that kind of opened me up into the industry. And now, that's been about 3 years, and lots of stuff has happened in that 3 years, but that's kind of brought me forward. So it was through looking for a way to diversify and add some extra income that I fell into this industry.
Yeah. And I mean, so, I used to be a professional athlete. So massage therapy is very hard on your body. Like you as the therapist, I mean, everything going on with the fingers and, just the constant having to work. I mean, what's the average appointments you could get in a day and really do well?
Well, for me, I topped out at like 4 appointments a day. Yeah. And, some people will push that. They'll do 6, they'll do 8 appointments, but I have a back injury that just wasn't sustainable for me. And you're constantly trading your time for money. There's not really any way to build on that. And scaling is hard because, I mean, it's just, there's a lot that goes into massage with training people underneath you and the overhead of scaling, and you're competing with Massage Envy at $50 a pop. It's a challenging industry, even though it's very rewarding at the same time.
I always wondered this. Do you guys have like conversations with your boyfriends that, hey, I used to do this for 4 hours. You can't give me 30 minutes?
It does happen. I'm blessed. So my boyfriend's also a massage therapist and a physical therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So he doesn't get that excuse.
No.
Like, hey, dude, like, come on, you do this for a living.
Yeah. But it usually happens the reverse, where significant others are expecting like, oh, well, you're a massage therapist, so come on, hook me up, do the thing. And it's like, I just spent, 6 hours of my day doing massage. I'm not doing it now at home. So, but yeah, we're blessed. We have that balance. And actually, I'm not really practicing anymore. So yeah, I owe him. Actually, I owe him.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, man, I just hooked you up. She knows now she owes you. So I'll follow up and make sure you pay him forward. So, and like I said, I've known quite a few massage therapists, and that's a very common story. And it's also like in the fight world, we call it a young man's game. I don't know if they have similar terminology in massage therapy, but I don't think I've ever seen a 60-year-old massage therapist.
Yeah, there's a small selection of people that have been doing it, 20 years, 20 plus years, but that's it's small. It does take its toll on your body.
Can you see the comments? Is this your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Hey, bro,
It
you're
is.
dinner. I just got your free massage. Just so you know, that was all my doing.
That's
So,
funny.
like again, so what do other like massage therapists, if you like in the fight game? So I understood that somewhere by the time I got to my mid to late 30s, that was going to kind of be the end of the show. Like, and even though I was a first generation fighter, so I was fighting during the time period of the first UFCs. I mean, it became pretty obvious that once you got to the upper limits of your 30s, that this just wasn't going to play anymore. And we see it in football and we see it in other sports. So what does the massage therapy community like kind of think about that? Like, how do they prepare for whatever's next in their life if they don't have the hope of a side hustle like network marketing or have some sort of other dream to fulfill? I mean, are those conversations that you guys have?
It's a great question. I haven't necessarily had that conversation. There's lots of people that have the dream of, I'm going to move to Costa Rica and be a massage therapist on the beach, or I'm going to open a retreat center. And you hear a lot of talks about this, but if you were to actually sit down and try to do like a goal planning session with somebody, or actually like break it down, okay, how are you going to get there financially? What's step A, step B? That conversation's really going to dissolve. And it hurts my heart to kind of say that because these are my people, but that's been kind of my experience. Lots of big dreamers. So, but what I can say, I haven't heard a lot of talk either about like an age cap, because there are people that have been doing it for 25 years that will tell you kind of buck up and just do it and power through your day. Make sure you get massage, make sure you exercise and take care of yourself. But hold on, I lost my train of thought. What is talked about commonly is the rate of length in the field. And it's between 3 to 5 years before people are on to the next thing. They're either they're 3 to 5 years in the field, they're on to nursing, or they're going for some other kind of allied health, or moving on to something altogether. I also know a lot of people that were my students that didn't get their licenses. So they went to school, went on the journey, and it just never came to fruition.
So here you are as a massage therapist. You get this network marketing opportunity that you decide to jump on. What your friends and family say?
I kind of have had the entrepreneurial spirit for a long time. So my friends and family are kind of like, oh, here she goes again. Like, this is just something else. But I hid it at first. And I was like, oh, I just won't tell anyone it's network marketing. I'll just say I'm doing this new thing with my massage. I made it like a whole therapy for itself and a different treatment we were offering. And I kept it a secret until I met Ray, or not met him, but encountered Ray and rank makers, and started to get postured around what I was doing and started to see the opportunity in a different way. And up until then, I thought, okay, yeah, people jump in the industry, they have fun, they make a little extra money. But I got in rank makers and I learned that, my friend Glenn paid off an insane amount of money on his student loans, all with network marketing. Like, I don't want to break any of the rules. I don't know, you're not allowed to make income claims or whatever, but I was meeting real humans that were making big incomes, 6 and 7 figure incomes. And I looked around at my circle of massage therapists and I thought, okay, this is not the conversation we're having in massage. We're not talking about how to scale to 6 and 7 figures. This is where I want to be. And it just ignited a whole different passion. But yeah, my friends and family were kind of like, whatever, once they did find out. I didn't get a lot of opposition. So but they didn't buy it either, though.
Right. A prophet's without honor in his own country. What's up, Steph? How are you? So you brought it up. So how did you get introduced to Ray, and how long have you been involved with rank makers or the Higdons? I mean, Tell me a little bit about that journey.
Sure. So I had gone through like a bad breakup from some guy I was dating or whatever, and I bought a ticket to go to a company event. I found a round trip flight for like $54, and I flew to New Orleans, and I was like, whatever, I'm going to get out of town. I'm just going to go. And when I was there, I met up with a girl I made friends with online that was in my first company. And, we just got to talking, and she said, well, have you heard of this thing, Rank Makers? I was like, I have no idea. Like, if you would have even said the name Eric Worre to me at that time, I wouldn't have known. Like, I was clueless on network marketing trainers. I didn't think this was a serious thing.
Sure.
So she invites me to Rank Makers, and I look it up, and I'm like, $20? What do I have to lose? If I don't like this, I'll just cancel it.
Right.
And I go in there, and on day one, I listen to the Ray Daily, and I'm like, oh my God, where has this guy been? Like, this is exactly what I've been needing in my life. And every single day, I was just more pumped up and mind blown over what I was learning, but also how applicable everything about consciousness and mindset and energy. And I hear him talking about these concepts in a way that's totally real world and that anybody can apply to their life.
Right.
So it's like he took these metaphysical things that some people think are so weird and out there and normalized them and made them simplified and easy to understand. So that's been about, I'd say 2.5 years since I've been involved with that.
All right. So 2.5 years in Rank Makers. What would you say the number one lesson you've learned from being in that group is?
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Yep.
All right. That does not seem like a lesson for you, or at least not the you I met on the show.
Well, see, okay. So I used to be like inconsistent. So I would do something and then like, oh, I don't feel like it today, or the energy is not right today, or whatever. And I have learned from Ray that on the days where I really, really do not feel like it, I have to take a deep breath and power through and do it anyway.
Okay.
And so, you saw me bring that because this is something that like, I knew it in the back of my head. And there are times in my life where I channeled the energy of that, but I was letting myself get defeated so often. And just having Ray in my ear and that constant reminder of what I need to do every single day in order to make it happen helped me transform into that person that you met.
Yeah. Okay. So season 1 happens. Season 2 comes around. Obviously, you got the same email I did sometime towards the end of December, whenever it was. Why'd you apply?
I really wanted the opportunity for my crack at working with the Higdon group.
Okay.
Yeah. Being on TV is cool. Being in the competition aspect is cool, but I just really, I feel what Ray and Jess bring to the world, and the opportunity to work with them closely and to just kind of be, I don't know, more on their platform or just to be involved in anything that they have going on, I consider a complete honor. So I wanted to be a part of it.
Who petrified you more, Ray or Jess?
Jess, for sure. For sure.
Everybody was so petrified of her. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like,
Well, I think so. Ray has a funny bone, but if you're in Rank Makers, you see Ray more. So we feel like we know him a little bit more. We see Jess sometimes too. But when you see Jess, it's not the fierce Jess. Like, you've seen Ray get mad. We saw the snorkel video. We know where we can go. But when you're sitting there and she's so absolutely beautiful and she's so powerful, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I really need to say the right thing. I really want to be on my P's and Q's. I really want to just bring it.
So I think I had an advantage of not really knowing either of those two. Be scared of her or him.
That's funny.
Now,
I can't imagine you being scared of anything anyway. Honestly, let's be real.
What is the snorkel video?
There is a video where Ray just like went bananas in rank makers and talking about getting your snorkel and diving deep. And it's just, I'll have to find it and tag you in it. It's like just one where he just went really, really intense. And yeah.
Okay. All right. I was like, snorkel video. I lost almost everything you said. I was like, what is a snorkel video? Because he does, some crazy skits I've seen. I saw one he reposted or somebody commented on, and he's got this crazy hairdo. And,
which one was it?
Global prospecting.
Where they're throwing the business card things with the rocks against the garage. So funny.
I was like, what the heck? So I didn't know if he was like wearing a snorkel and doing some
Oh,
crazy.
No.
So, I would assume your day one was very similar to our day one. You have this long, that first day, like 30, 45-minute van ride with everybody else. They line you up and then they, place you guys all around the couches. As you were looking around the room, what was going on in your head?
Trying to bring myself back to that moment. So it was a combination of really observing people. So I'm very observant in people's body language. I like to try to watch micro expressions. So I was observing how people were holding themselves and presenting themselves, as well as being aware of how I was doing the same thing. And I think I was just breathing and trying to tell myself to just be present and bring it and play to win.
Yeah. So, which is a little bit different because, we did this in two iterations. So day one and then day 1A for lack of better language. Did you know anybody else in the room on your day one?
I'm trying to remember who was on my day one. So I knew of Jordana.
Okay.
For sure. And I was terrified of Jordana. Going in, I was like, she is my biggest threat. I was so afraid of her. Actually, so Jen invited me out to dinner like the night before, and I refused to go because I didn't want anybody to know me. I wanted people to be afraid of me. I didn't want people to think I was nice. And like, I was just like, no, I'm intimidated. I'm going to go in like with all these guards up as much as I can. But so I knew Jordana, and then I knew Daryl. I can't remember if Daryl was on day one or day two. And then
day one.
It was on my day one. And then John Pennington, I knew before going in as well. So I knew a couple people. And then Eugene was on day two.
Yeah. He was on my day one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your day one.
All right. So you thought Jordana was the number one threat. Did that change for you when you came into day two? Or would have been your day two, which would have been day three for everybody?
For everybody? No. Really? Like Jordana was in the top 3 for me, like the whole time. Megan Sart was up there as well. And yeah, and you were up there as well as, some other people. But yeah, Jordana was the whole way through. And even though she's amazingly nice, once I met her, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just want to hug her. But she's fierce and she's powerful, and she has a very clear message of what she wanted to do. And so yeah.
Yeah. It's always funny to me because I knew absolutely who no one was.
So funny. I
had like literally I'd been in rank makers for 4 weeks, 6 weeks before the show.
Wow.
I joined, and then she joined because she heard us talking about.
That's awesome. Welcome to the party, Jordana.
Tag you. And so which I know was a different day for you, but on the night that I got in, I didn't get an email. I didn't get nothing. And so when I showed up on our day one, Monday morning, everybody was talking. They'd already met. They already, like several of them had been in companies together. And I was like, dude, I am on the short end of the stick of this dream here. Because like it very much seemed like there were already teams being built, and I was really, and I didn't know. I mean, I knew roughly that there were 2 crews, but I didn't realize there was going to be a whole day one and then day one alpha. So I just thought like maybe it would be, we're in the morning and you guys are in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought, but I wasn't really doing much of thinking about the show. I was telling Eugene, I didn't even realize the coaching wasn't available till like day 3. I was like, wait a minute, the coaching's not available this year?
Oh, that's funny. You were super late to the party.
I don't think I even really read much of the email.
Well, that's awesome. You brought it.
So what was your favorite now we got to be careful here so you're not giving away too many details, but what was your favorite moment on the show for you personally?
Some people are not going to get this until they watch the show, but well, okay, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen a couple of people standing up on like a platform, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a big highlight for me, the activity that we did of standing up there, because it challenged me to complete it within the constraints that we were given and deliver it at the top that I could. But it helped me to see myself in a new light and to really see what I'm capable of. And I think that was a lot of the week for me of stepping back and just being like, oh my shit, I'm doing it. Like I'm doing this. And it was very empowering for me.
Yeah. So what was your most nerve-wracking one then?
Well, okay, if you've seen the trailer, you saw me burning the letter. Some things involving that were very nerve-wracking, very outside the comfort zone, and I'm super curious to see what exactly makes it in the show around that.
It can't be a ton. There's only so much time, and we did a week of shooting.
But it's good television.
Right? As you look back on the show, what do you think was the greatest lesson you learned from actually being on the show?
My fully stepping into my self-worth and really just seeing the value of who I am and what I bring to the table. It's like I'm bringing it every day. I show up every day and in everything that I do in my life. But sometimes I don't see that. Sometimes I can second guess myself. So just going through that whole week and feeling empowered and seeing what I was able to accomplish taught me a lot about myself.
It's so funny because again, I didn't know anyone, but when we did that first challenge, when both teams were brought together, when that whole thing was over, and then you made the power move that you made, that's when I started paying attention. I was like, oh.
Okay. I wonder what you're referring to.
Where you made a call? Huge.
Oh.
Huge. I was like, dang, girl's got some influence.
Yeah, that was I'm very blessed. Very blessed for those that moment.
Yeah. So John just asked, where is it going to be aired and when? So it airs September 10th. It's going to be on Ray Higdon's page. I'm going to be sharing it. I'm sure the rest of the contestants are going to be sharing it as well. And the rest of it I can't really talk about because none of it's been finalized yet. But there might be an announcement of somewhere else it's airing. So we'll see.
Is it not? It's not going to be on the playtowin.tv? That's where season 1 is. So if you're watching and you're curious, because season 2 is very different from season 1, but season 1 is on playtowin.tv, and that can kind of prime you a little bit and get pumped up for season 2. But that's where the old ones are parked. I don't know if that's where this one will go to.
I don't know. I didn't even know that was a website. Okay. I'll have to go check it out.
I guess you learn something new every day, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So what do you think changed most for you from being on the show?
What changed the most for me? I think that's still to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good answer. I like that answer. So, we have this private Facebook group where all the contestants are in. What, Jordana? What do I do now? I don't even know what that's about.
Maybe for the playtowin.tv of not knowing.
Oh, I watched part of the first episode on like YouTube.
Oh gosh.
So
What a difference. Now on the flip side, I was like studying them incessantly. I watched them like 3 times. I was like taking notes, and that's so funny.
yeah, because I knew it being a reality show. So one of the key components of a reality show is that you catch people in both their worst and their best moments, which you can't catch them in it if it's been pre-scripted or pre-rehearsed.
Right. That makes
I
sense.
knew everything on season 1 was going to be worthless. I mean, there was no similarities at all.
Yeah, not at all.
So
Not
I
at all.
spent my time, I was telling Ryan this. So I knew before I submitted that I was accepted. I knew in July of last year I was accepted. Like I watched my friend get on the show. And I was like, I will be on the next show. I just knew it. So come December, I'd been watching some more of Ray's Free Coaching Fridays, and I was like, like it's really good training. Like maybe there's more in there. I should give this because I'd been in it at the beginning of last year, but then I was like, I don't get this group. It doesn't make sense to me. I got too much to do, and I quit. And I mean, I was in there for I don't even know. Wasn't very long. Wasn't even long enough to catch any of his lives. I just didn't understand the group. And then at the end of December, I was like, man, I really need to take it up a level. I like his trainings on Fridays. I'm going to do it. So I re-engaged. And then within a couple of days, I got that email and I went, sweet. And that, so I spent my time really digging into the group and figuring out who Ray was. And like I said, I didn't even really pay the email much attention because I didn't figure out there was no coaching. Because I was more focused on who are these people, because then out of that, I knew kind of how the show was going to go. Right.
Sure. And how you can bring value and
yeah. And then I thought about it and I was like, well, if I decide not to do the coaching and I go more for the job, it's network marketing. So I got to be a real team player. So I can't be cutting people's throat on the show. So like I'm having this conversation internally with so my goal in coming on the show was to show up and to really kind of be there to win that thing. But my secondary goal was to do everything in my power to keep people on the show, even if it meant they were going to compete against me. And so I really made it my point to help as much as I could, even when it didn't benefit me, to help them. And I hope the people from my day one got to see that. I hope, but that was kind of my strategy going in.
Interesting. That's a good strategy.
And I totally did not pay season 1 any attention at all. Like I watched literally half an episode.
That's too funny. That's very interesting.
Yeah. So trailer was just released a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some nerves.
A lot.
Were nerves for you? I mean, did you think that portion where it really highlighted you was going to make the trailer?
No, I didn't think that was going to make the trailer, but it was awesome. So yeah, there are some things I'm nervous about. So without giving anything away, I get called out really bad about something. And there were some things that were said to me that I'm like, it's going to be hard when I have to watch that. But other than that, I know how I
don't remember you getting called out.
I don't know.
Was it on day 1?
I can't remember. Everything kind of
Mary Kate said we are all going to have show amnesia.
Yeah, I guess that's like a real thing. But if you think about it, like, do you remember everything that you say throughout the day? No, not typically. Like, I can't tell you every word I said yesterday, but when you're being filmed, it can tell you all of those things. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. But maybe that was. But I can tell you. I'll tell you in private
Ask
messenger. But
Jordana knows. She said day one. She's like,
okay,
that was your day one.
yeah.
I was like, you were pretty much a rock star. I don't remember them saying anything to you. Like I'm trying to think. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that.
So my sense of humor just got me a little bit of trouble. But it's going to be interesting to kind of see it. And there are things that I'm concerned that I don't know. I think that when it comes down to it, it's that I'm gonna look bad, but I know that I'm not, because I know how I showed up. I know the heart behind everything that I shared, like all the personal details and things like that.
It can't be any worse than me getting quoted on, I'm going to punch everybody in the face.
I love that.
Bad.
It's my favorite. So amazing.
Like they could have put the part where Ray was laughing when he asked me about that, but no, they didn't put that part in there.
No. Why would they put that?
Yeah,
the power of editing. So I'm interested to see how they edit it. I can be a bitch, so I don't know if that's gonna kind of come out somehow, some way. But overall, I think that we all brought it, and I know that the whole Higdon group is making this to help uplift, to help inspire, to help show people what's possible. So I can't see any of us really being shown in any kind of negative light. I'm excited for the show to come out.
I'm very excited. And I'll say this. So I've talked with a couple of people from the first season, like I was doing my due diligence before I went on the show. So I contacted some of them, said, hey, what was the experience like? Not necessarily the challenges. And I mean, there's going to be some drama, like, so they did a little bit with you with the letter. And, of course they brought out that big snake for a piece of it. Right. So, it's reality TV, but, with what they're trying to accomplish, I don't really think that it does them justice to play people at their worst, Now it's still real TV. So like, there's going to be some of that where Ray or / Jess is putting a boot up somebody's rear end, but, like it just, I said this to Eugene, like I watched differently all week long. I was trying to figure out who these two people were, what's their angle. And even after people were being eliminated, I watched Ray and Jess invest in them. And it wasn't about the show. It was about those people's personal growth. And, if it was just a show and it was just drama and it was just ratings, they wouldn't have been doing those things when it didn't matter anymore.
Sure.
And then having now been in Rank Makers and gotten involved, that's so far from the character that I would be really shocked if it took that turn on the show. Like I
agree. I agree.
So I'm with you. I'm excited. I haven't been nervous at all. I think that, you definitely showed up. On day 3, I was like, holy cow, who's this girl? And that framed some of that last challenge for me as well. Just so you know, like as I was watching everything, that day 3 was really important in some of the decisions I think that were made. Mm-hmm. And I think you did a great job, and I'm excited to see what they show, not only of you, but everybody I didn't get to see their day 1 for. And just I just shared from Jen's pictures from the show to now. Did you see?
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Everybody on the show has changed so much since the show. It's just amazing that one 5 or 6 day period of time, what it did for everybody. Like,
absolutely.
It's been something else. And So last question for you. What are you looking forward to the most with the release of the show?
I'm looking forward to seeing how our journeys impact other people. That's the name of the game for me, and to see how people are inspired from the show. So that's first. But I guess selfishly, I'm interested to see how I can make an impact and how it's going to help me get more clear on the message that I'm delivering, and just to kind of take the ride and the journey and see where where we are a year from now. If you look back at the season 1 contestants, each and every one of them is doing amazing, really incredible big things. And having a platform is part of that, but all of the connections that come from it. I mean, just even having our group to mastermind with and bounce ideas off of is super helpful. So I'm excited for that and to see kind of where we all go from here.
Yeah. So again, I didn't get the chance of seeing that. So because I didn't know any of those people other than Trip.
Oh, sure.
So, but that's a really good point. And, when the power of everybody's story, even though it won't all get told, because there's just no way. But I said this, I think it was with Ryan, that when you look at each story that's being told, like, I don't care who you are, there's somebody out of the nearly 30 people that you're going to resonate with.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be people that you're going to look at and go, if she can do it, if he can do it, I can do it, because their stories are so similar. I mean, when you look at Megan's story and your story and Mama Church's story and then Ryan's story, and then, I mean, it's just incredible to hear. And, Jordana's story, and just like, it's really incredible to see what's been accomplished with like crazy obstacles. And the piece on the show that they put on the trailer about you, because I wasn't there for that part, I was like, whoa, and that's huge. So good job. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Where you go. Thanks for coming on tonight. And
thanks for having me. This was fun.
And we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be talking with Michelle Culberson from season 1. So you guys are going to want to tune in, because she was there for all of Play to Win season 2 from beginning to end. So she's going to have some great insight for us. We guys,
be a good one.
Guys tomorrow night. Just hang on for a second here while I